Hi, my name is Laura, and I'm with the UT Tyler Occupational Therapy Program. And today I wanted to do a video about memory strategies. The specific memory strategy I'm going over today is chunking. Chunking, if you're not familiar with it, is the process of just taking small pieces of information and grouping them together to make larger pieces of information. This way it is less to remember instead of a lot of individual pieces of information. For example, when remembering a phone number sequence, if you went through each individual number, it would be harder to remember than 41, 7, 13, 24. It works because it, like we talked about, it just makes, it's just separating bigger pieces of information, so it's easier to recall. It can help with learning things such as locations, reading, learning words. On tips on how to chunk is trying to link items together by making associations or creating a story or a visual image. So in this example, there are 12 items here, and looking at them, they look really random, but if you make associations, there is 4 appliances, a washer machine or dryer, one of the two, a oven, a microwave, and a TV. There are 4 animals, a dog, a mouse, a bear, and a kangaroo. And there are 4 clothing items, a shoe, a scarf, a pair of pants, and a hat. So normally it would be hard to remember random items such as these, but by putting them into categories, it helps us retain the information better. Another tip is to use an acronym with the first letters. So if you were trying to remember the Great Lakes of America, you could use the acronym HOMES. H for Huron, O for Ontario, M for Michigan, E for Erie, and S for Superior. Another way is to use phrases for the acronyms. So for the Great Lakes example, you could say hovering on my extreme surfboard. And that phrase is basically words that have the first letter of the acronym HOMES. And another tip is if you were trying to chunk a list, such as for grocery shopping, if instead of trying to remember each individual item, you could say, okay, I'm going to the store to buy ingredients for burritos and pancakes. And especially if it's something that you know how to make from memory, if you just told yourself, okay, I'm buying the ingredients I need for what I need to make burritos and pancakes, you can kind of just go through the list of ingredients while you're at the store in your head. Just say, okay, well, I'm going to need flour, I'm going to need eggs, stuff like that. Another tip is to group related numbers. So if there's several pieces of information that you're trying to learn, make related groups. So if you needed to learn the war dates, you could say, okay, 1776, 1781, 1788. And by putting them in a group, it'll help you recall it a little easier. So here is the first exercise that we are going to use today. This is a scene and it is meant for you to study for 3 minutes and remember as many details as you can. And then on the next slide, we'll go over the answers. So to help with these chunking techniques, I can kind of give a little example of how we would apply them to this specific photo. So it appears to be in the middle of a city street. There are several people around. There appears to be some type of worker down here wearing a construction reflective vest. He has a green sort of cart that he's hauling stuff. And it looks like there's a police officer behind him, maybe trying to help him hurry up so he doesn't hold up traffic. There is what I assume to be a taxi going by. It has a T on the car. And everyone's wearing jackets, so we can assume that it's probably fall or winter. And I believe this is in the United States because there's several American flags waving in the street. And I believe that's about all I can really say about this picture. So going over the questions, what letter of the alphabet was in the black circle on the door of the taxi? T, because I remember saying T for taxi. How many US flags were there in the photo? Well, I remember noticing the flags because I figured it was in America because of them. I believe there were 3. A worker in an orange jacket was pushing a metal cart. What color was his cart? Black, red, green, or silver? I remember the worker and he was pushing a green cart. And was the taxi traveling on a one-way street? I remember the taxi was yes. And was this photo most likely taken in the summer or winter? Well, I remember everyone was wearing jackets, so that would be winter. And then I have several other activities on here that you all can utilize. I will just go through them and you can pause to complete the exercise. So this is a picture of a girl riding up a street. And here are the questions. Here's a picture of a ice cream on a table. Here's another photo of, it looks like a breakfast. And another photo. Looks like they might be at a zoo. And the last photo, remember you can pause on these photos to study them. All right, this is the end of my video. I hope these strategies were helpful and that you will use those exercises to help train your mind for this specific memory technique. Thank you.